for T1 Academy, they're actually going to be running a stageless composition. So we haven't had a chance to talk about that a lot. When the latest map came out here for Ascent, a lot of people tried to go with this quintuple smoke pretty much with the Brimstone and Omen to take mid control. But this map, like Split, could also be those type of maps where you take mid control and split across as well. So definitely useful into here, but nobody's really used it yet, and we're about to see it firsthand from a team that we haven't really seen yet together in this broadcast. So way to go here for T1 Academy to bring out something new and refreshing into the Split matchups we've seen tonight.
No, we also have to go back to Sentinels, leaving a bad taste. Together we had Perfect's mouth from Split earlier on in the day, but the defense, they start off great. Defend the male push. It's going to be 3 down for T1 Academy. Still going to pick up that spike and reset where they're going to go. But this double up pairing might go towards A, and they'll be faced with 2 there on the site. But it's better than all 4, and we'll see where they end up going.
Definitely, and now you have the iPad being pulled up by ZerG as well, trying to see what he wants to do with it, but I guess at this point, you don't really want to give your position away yet. You want to work here with the Phoenix moving forward to try to clear it out first, and Calypso is now spawned to force to be fallback at the bottom. So it is Rara playing as that Phoenix, got tagged by a Cypher camera at the same time too, so they'll both recollect towards ropes. Actually, they basically just switch out positions, and Rara gets the headshot onto Kaboose. So now it's a 3 versus 2. They still have 38 seconds left on the clock to work with, still plenty of time, and they're still walking into B, where they still have 2 players of the defenders.
Yeah, Rara, he's got a sheriff in hand. Does not check the left, and he's going to get taken down to 70. The dinks are good. Still going to be pushing forward here for Rara. Calypso going to get caught in an engagement and backing away. Rara going to be taken out here by Finesse. 3 kills for him, and that spike won't even go down for the extra credits. Calypso finding that last frag. And now we're seeing how T1 Academy really get it done. They play it safe, they play it slow, and yes, they end up with a frag, almost getting that spike down, but still leaving Together We Are Terrific, guessing where are they going, how are they getting there, and where are they going to be here.
Yeah, they tried to basically start very aggressively and try to make a stand early into the game by having such an aggressive rush towards that mid side, but you saw it. It was a shorty, a frenzy, and a classic that just denied them right away. So for them, it's going to slow them down already. You can see it. This time they're just walking slowly, trying to play contact towards this garage, towards the B main to see if they could spot somebody right now. But a camera is up, and Finesse is playing towards that left side. Usually with a camera up, you could think he's playing towards the back of the site, or maybe towards the middle of the site at the default plant spot, and nobody really checks on the left side. But if you're good enough, and if you're actually at this level, you should always check your 50-50s. And at this point, though, the execution is going to come through. They're even going to pull the orb on top of that, the trap wire, and they don't even check it.
Yeah. Yeah, we don't talk about that round. I mean, at the end of the day, they don't really have the weaponry to play, so...
They're Academy.
Yeah. Yeah, they're just the Academy team. Yeah, it's not a big deal. No, but, I mean, at the end of the day, they don't really have the weaponry to play. This will be the round where they can get online, and I like this, shake-up. They're looking towards A. They've been hitting B quite consistently, and sending those feelers out tells you who's playing on what site. We saw Gen G on Bind. They never had the same person twice, but it does look like FNS will be the B anchor with the Cypher, right? That doesn't look like it might change unless the team calls it. mummAy somehow misses a crucial op shot, misses 2. What is happening? And that might give them a lot of control towards this A site.
Yeah, at least the information's there, right? He could say, look, there's 2 guys at least. We're going to play more passively. But the thing is, for T1 Academy, they're not countering on any smokes on the take. What they're doing instead is actually falling back and meeting up towards midside. Because, yeah, Eeiu does have control of this midside by the box, but not more than that. This is still uncharted territory right now for the attackers. You could get past this box, but the real opposition usually happens towards the B heaven or the ropes. And meanwhile, as Rara was still lurking inside towards his A side, he lost the fight. And finally, mummAy connected with the operator. Now, Calypso, same spot. Headshot onto Eeiu on the rope. It's different than CS, man. You're on that rope, it's still 98% accurate shooting that gun on the rope on the rappel. So a great job, at least, on the defender side here. And it's going to look dire now for the attackers.
You know, what started off what I feel like was a golden opportunity when an operator misses 2 shots, gives you a little bit more breathing room. But opting into double back and go towards B, we'll see if that's going to be the correct call FNS spots 2, pushing forward, and now a couple of shots here from Kurt. He's going to find Calypso. And that's just the B-side take. They'll get that spike down, but it's Together We Are Terrific that are rushing back towards the site. It might cost them, though. Kurt already going to be taken out, and it's still 2 members left here on the site. 2v4, ZerG hiding behind the tower. Oh, and a couple of those pre-fire shots already going to start to kick off. It's Retzi trying to find those frags up in heaven. ZerG still biding his time, and it's going to be another kill. It's kill after kill here for Retzi. Up to him now, but FNS will find the last and final frags, and another round here for the defense.
I was just reading the chat there. Mogelts271 into Twitch chat was saying, look, it looked like it was going to be Sentinel's game when they were playing versus T1 Academy, but Retzi was the one that was stepping up in some insane clutches that basically dismantled them and allowed T1 Academy to catch up and win. Possibly the same situation right there. You saw Retzi under pressure, under a 4-on-1 situation. He still remained very calm, landed 2 quick shots inside that site, and when it came down to that 2 versus 1, what was played better, of course, was the retake on the defender side. TWAT kind of split off on that double peek and didn't line up, which made the trade a lot easier for the defenders. So Retzi, looks like we're going to have to keep an eye on him.
Absolutely. We are seeing a little bit of a standard fan out here for T1 Academy. Just having a quick look earlier on. Of course, they don't really have the weaponry. It's just pistols across the board. Calypso, he's going to find one here onto Eeiu. Not before a trade happens onto Akis. It's another shot here for Calypso. He takes down Rara. And now, not looking so good here for T1 Academy, but of course it is the pistols. Of course, Retzi has the Bladestorm available. That can get the job done, but you need to start with some frags to open up some sites.
Yeah, another thing that's good, too, when you're starting to ask who T1 Academy is and if they're actually that good or not, Eeiu actually has reached up towards the Iranian rank. So he does have what it takes to hang with the best. And even if they're called Academy, it doesn't necessarily mean that they're a farm team so that the main T1 team could just practice off of. So they still have the skills. They have what it takes. Yes, it looks that it's 3-0 and it's looking to be close to 4-0, but let's wait until we see the first gun rounds and check that out. It's going to be a Marshall in the face of mummAy.
Imagine dying to a Marshall when you have an operator in your hand. That's like losing in Smash Bros against your little brother after you've been training for years and years. It has to not be a good feeling. Kaboose going to find one onto ZerG. The defense slowly making their way forward back into the site. Retzi's got an operator here, going to take down Finesse as he takes out Kurt. Now it's just a 1v2. Retzi can still get the job done here, has the tailwind available. They're starting to push forward, and unfortunately it does not look in the correct direction. It is Calypso that'll find that last frag. Another round on the board, but we saw something very similar in the map earlier on in the day, how a defender-sided split can feel and can be, and we're seeing that here for Together We Are Terrific.
Just unfortunate there for Retzi. On that 2 versus 1, he had the operator that he picked up, but he was actually double scoped. As soon as he unscoped, that's where he saw Calypso just under that little circle of his scope, and he couldn't react fast enough. So that is going to be just an easier take coming in now. The entry at least was nice from Kurt G with that Marshall shot. They got the spike down on top of that too with this mixed buy that they had. So they have the money moving into this round at least for T1 Academy. And from this round, you could see it. They're playing the Sageless so far. It's not paying off for them, but they're still using the operators that you want to use, the agents, sorry, that you want to use towards this mid side to take the mid control. It's going to be the Omen and the Brimstone.
T1 Academy, they've got the weapons online this time. Looking for another round that they can attempt to put one on the board. Hasn't worked out so well for them. They've had one gun round and didn't really end up back into their favor. Another gun round for them here. Retzi, Hawkeye looking down towards, but it's the paranoia that'll stop them, but it's Kaboose sending it flying, takes out one, and it's Akis as well from behind. Retzi takes down the refrag there, and tailwinds out of there. 3v2 now, T1 Academy. They've got the man advantage. Let's see where they decide to go.
Definitely A, because look at that. The Cypher actually moved forward all the way towards screens, and Finesse wins that fight towards his B side. So as he's going to try to rotate towards spawn, he can't even get a flank right now. He's moving up towards the A heaven. He's about to backstab against the operator moving forward, and there you go. Kurt does get that shot onto mummAy. It's going to be a 2 versus 1 inside the A side. You get the spike plant down, and great positioning now. We've seen it before when it was actually TWAT playing against Sentinels, they actually had the two players, one towards the elbow, the other one made it towards the top of the heaven. The crossfire is set up, and now it's just going to be nearly impossible for FINESSEE to get this kill. At least he's able to put them down a halfway in terms of HP, but to seal the deal, it is going to be T1 Academy's round.
Not to mention they've got 4 ultimates on the board for themselves. Noodle Theft, Orbital Strike, from the Shadows, and of course the Run It Back. A lot of utility available for the side of T1 Academy, but for the opposite side, there's utility as well on the board. I mean, something that we haven't really touched on too in detail is the Sageless agent selection from T1 Academy. Might have briefly mentioned it at the beginning, but we'll see if that plays to be the biggest factor in this match. Together, of course, have the Resurrection available, can make this a 6v5 in theory, but it's already starting to look really bad here as T1. They find 2 quick kills and open up the A site.
Yeah, definitely, and it looks like they weren't really looking towards their angles when they dropped 2. It was just aggressive. I mean, they have only pistols to work with as well for TWAT. Calypso does land a shot onto Eeiu. Blade Storm will come out from mummAy, though. Okay, what can you do with this here? You also could get some information with an ultimate if you want. Running through the blaze while the right click misses onto Rara. So now it's all up to Calypso, charging up here. His paranoia, fully blind, headshot, full blind. Rara falls behind, the Vandal still in the hand. The op shot rings away, and it's going to be now the jet falling back here of Retzi. But it's still a 3 versus 1. Nice shot here from Calypso, but they still have an orbital strike. This is still a very hard feat to take here for Calypso. I think at this point, you even hear it beeping. He's going to fall back and save his weapon, looking for exit kills to make it very expensive, which actually, 3 rounds coming in on the defender side, at least on Eco, not so bad.
Yeah, and for T1, they can feel at least, okay, we're not losing too bad. There's a 2-round differential now, and for the side of Together, if we have a look at the scoreboard, we'll be able to gauge the pulse on the economy for the defense, see if they're really struggling for credits. After losing what I think is, 2 in a row, it might start to really falter, and they may not have the weaponry this time around. And so potentially another round on the board here for the attack. And we're seeing Together, it looks like they're preparing for a little bit more of an aggressive round. The double peek towards ramp, what looks like, and that's going to be difficult for T1. Sheriff here for Kaboose. He backs away as he was smoked off.
And now it's Kaboose trying to look through. Smoked off still, but hiding inside that smoke, though. Eeiu trying to push forward. I think did they hug each other?
Wow. Yes. Yes.
But now it dissipates and he doesn't see him anymore. So where is that Sage? It's Akis checking the mail right now by that staircase. Checking the 50 on the wrong side, unfortunately, as Eeiu gets the Executioner kill on to Akis. Moving forward, though, he loses a fight to FNS forward with the Frenzy. So that's going to be a Vandal upgrade at half HP, unfortunately, though, for FNS as he falls back inside the site. Nice shot, though, from Kaboose. Satchel charge as well. You see the body ragdoll towards that right side, and he picks up the Vandal to try to fight against Retzi close range. But somehow, with the pistol round that they have here, or a force buy, because we have a Bulldog from mummAy, it's turning in their favor.
Yeah, that's not a good look for T1 Academy. That was, of course, I think the Stinger, not the Bulldog. It does have the same Cadillac skin, but it's all good. Retzi, the last one standing. The dragon sings and it roars from the weaponry of FNS. Another round on the board here for the defense. It looked good for T1. It really did look good, but they couldn't break through, and I'm not really sure why. They really had a great setup. It was the eco for Together. And they didn't really have utility they didn't have like a showstopper. They didn't have like a blade storm to make it that much more difficult to push through. So maybe they just got a little choked up. Didn't really want to push forward through some dangerous territory. But that'll result in a round here for Terrific. And it's looking good. They're still extending their lead. But once that second half comes through, we'll see if T1 answer back.
Yeah, mummAy trying to ring a shot there first, falls back towards the A side, so just a standard now, 2 mid, 2 A, and 1 B, with the camera being played by FNS here towards B. Rara is going to be the one that's going to try to fight him, but mummAy gets the wall bang to start things off up towards A heaven, so they did try to take control of A ramp. It didn't work into their favor. The spike is still dropped, though, so it's not that information given away, but somehow that op shot misses.
Woo! Yeah, not really sure what's going on with mummAy. He's not really having the best game here. A lot of crucial shots missing, and I do know that he is the operator player for Together We Are Terrific. So not looking so good. Together, they will find an entry, and it's Kaboose that'll answer back. 2 down now for T1, 3 remaining as they push in towards A. It's Eeiu trying to chase that Sage player out. I think it's going to be the quick call over towards B as they find a crucial pick with Rara onto Calypso. The resurrection comes through, and still they need to hightail that spike over as FNS is going to defend this site with his life. Eeiu will be the one that takes him down. Now it's the 2v3, difficult for T1 as they don't have that spike down yet, and there's 30 seconds left on the clock.
Yeah, now even make that a 2 versus 2. Aggressively was Eeiu just holding by that Omen Cloud, or the dark cover rather, and now as they smoke out towards that backside too, they're just waiting for this to dissipate. So it is going to be mummAy trying to move forward now with his teammate, as the spike is pretty much planted for Heaven 2, and both of them actually for T1 Academy are set up pretty much in a crossfire towards the upper Heaven. So we are sticking onto that spike to start things off because we do have the orbital strike, getting man out of position. Kaboose lobbing a Stato charge towards that top, and I think they were able to get it halfway at least. Now the paranoia comes through, and he gets to get the first kill, and then there you go. A 4K coming in for Eeiu, but they did get the spike halfway before the orbital strike came down, so it was an easier defuse there on that second attempt, and we have TWAT in the lead by 4.
Listen, if I'm Eeiu there, I'm holding the iPad the entire time. I know that he's trying to hold angles and he's trying to make sure that nobody pushes through Heaven, but at the end of the day, you hear the defuse come through, you instantly drop that orbital strike down. I think there was a slight delay where maybe he was contemplating, okay, are they actually sticking to defuse? I mean, in a case-by-case basis like this where it's professional play, it may be a difficult call to make. Shot here for mummAy is going to take out Retzi as we move on to the next round.
Yeah, unfortunately I have the one that fell early towards the A side, half HP as well on that Brimstone, and that is going to be ZerG. He is trying to smoke it up here. They do have Cyber Cages across too. So mummAy is re-switching his position to help out towards Kaboose, and from that Boombot gives the position away from Kurt, and there you go, mummAy at least lands that shot. So that's an operator down too, and the 3 guys that are alive, again, you still have the Brimstone that's half HP, but they are able to make it inside the site. mummAy unfortunately misses that shot. Close range though is going to be that Brimstone. He manages to come out, and it's a Guardian shot that rings and rings, but Rara falls down, and ZerG last. Well, actually, they're 2. They're 2 still alive here for the attackers on a 4-on-2, Simo.
Yeah, they can still defend the site if they got some good crossfire angles set up, and unfortunately they do not. ZerG back of sight while Eeiu is playing a little bit more of a wild card angle, hiding behind the box. It is up to Together We Are Terrific to push in. The buddy system will start to come through. Paranoia gonna put ZerG in an awkward position. The first one comes through, and it's the stim beacon that stims it all on up. Now down to the 1v1. Finesse up against ZerG, but ZerG pushes away off to the side. Around the corner there he goes, and it's FNS that'll take him down. But does he have enough time to defuse? I think he'll be just fine, if not down to the second. 1 second, and assuming that's 71 milliseconds. Really close, though. I think maybe if ZerG just stalled just a little bit more, they might have had that round.
Yeah, definitely. It was a nice play too by FNS, right? Instead of holding it close on a fake defuse, you're actually backing up towards the wall, widening the angle too, so you could snap faster on a pick. So it was well played by his side. We definitely see a different Together We Are Terrific than we did versus Sentinels. They looked a lot more dominant. Maybe they needed to thaw up a little bit. They were a little bit cold hands playing that matchup versus Sentinels. I mean, it was a big best out of 3 grand finals that they had before where they got spanked by the Sentinels, so maybe they had a lot of rush going through as they really wanted to get that revenge match, which didn't pay off in their favor earlier in this broadcast. So now Rara at the point, they're going to try to execute into B.
Yeah, there's early frack here from FNS. Going to take out one, but it's Eeiu. He gets into the back of sight there, finds one, and unfortunately can't get that spray onto Akis. ZerG will be the one that seals the deal up to mummAy and Kaboose, and it's a showstopper that's ready to start the party. A face full of walls. He hops in, going to send it flying, does not take out Rara. It is indeed mummAy, the 1v2. Now ZerG can get the job done if he just plays his cards right. Spike, of course, not down yet, so he needs to make sure that he bides his time. Smoke's ready to go down. Now begins the push in here for ZerG. Gonna go around the corner. The shot's good onto Kaboose. Now the 1v1, looking for that orbital strike. Going to try to push mummAy out. The shots are good. Almost lands the operator shot, but it's the orbital strike that takes out mummAy. and a round on the board here for T1.
ZerG played that 2 versus 1 perfectly, and you saw it from that X-ray, right? He was so close from or getting picked off by lower or getting picked off by upper, and they were just playing in so much uncertainty for Together We're Terrific that just gave a lot of movement available there for ZerG towards the end. So great way to minimize that 2 versus 1, to really cut it down to 2 1 versus 1 situations to actually clutch that one here for T1 Academy. I gotta say though, that spray didn't look too nice. It was basically Bob Koss drawing silhouettes around his opponent's long range, but still, the mistake came there from FNS. He should have heard that teleport come right behind him. Literally was right next to him.
Yeah, those shots look like a crime scene, just the white chalk around the body. Not actually taking out the body, though. And so we'll see now how the round ahead, will there be a crime scene for T1 to investigate? The spike is down by Ramen and still need to go pick it up and decide where they want to go. Mid control is theirs, of course, but there's a wall separating them and Heaven, so they might opt in to go towards ropes as the rest of the team has already pushed up the ramp. But they're really going in this double duty, pushing both Heaven places at once, and it's frags after frags for both teams, which looks like Together We Are Terrific will come out on top in that exchange. And still a couple more members remain. Kaboose will take out Kurt, and the round still now down to one more player.
Well, at least they got the neural theft out, right? So Retzi knows exactly where the 3 players are. He does have an operator too, and he could section 3 individual 1 versus 1 again, the same situation that Kurt had, ZerG had on that 2 versus 1. So let's see if they could actually get it done here, because Retzi now picks up the Vandal, but he's wasting a little bit too much time, so we're doubling back up here towards this B sign. Actually, I like this. You have that jet playing towards the middle on that defender sign, so if he actually does have that tailwind available, it could tailwind back and forth as mummAy, but now with 10 seconds remaining, you see Retzi here, he has to commit now or just save. And look at that, he's going to take the operator, and he's going to save it into the next round.
We are nearing the end of this first half, and so the round, of course, going over to Together We Are Terrific, but the next round will be the last and final round of the half. This is where T1 can really make a mark, and we'll see if it ends up being a 8-4 score line, which, to be quite honest, would probably be, not too bad of a score line, considering T1 may feel a little bit more comfortable on the defensive side of things when it comes to split. And that might be the difference maker that wins them the round. You know, if they win this map, they're 3-0 in the group, in a difficult group with Sentinels, and Together We Are Terrific. And for T1 Academy, I feel like they could be proud of that accomplishment. But if they don't win, it potentially goes to a 2-1 tiebreaker across 3 teams.
That's right. But so far, it's looking good here for Together We're Terrific to get this victory. But again, if they get this round here for the attacker side of T1 Academy, they could still look pretty decent onto the second half. Trapwire activated though, a Paranoia as well, thrown from both sides here of the both teams rather. And we do have boombots on the ground. Calypso gets the first kill from under the ropes, and they're falling back towards the rope side where mummAy is trying to cut in and go for the flank. But they take him down, they move inside A, it's open for business, and the first point of contact is only going to be Kaboose.
Yeah, he's going to get fired out there by the hot hands. The rest of the team have to wait to cross. Great positioning from all this fire. One in the choke point, one here in screens, and now they'll start to push in. Kaboose and FNS working on that buddy system. They just divide and conquer, and the general is here. The team has pushed forward in the last round of the half. Going to be going over Together We Are Terrific. 9-3 the score line of that half, and now moving on to the second, it is going to be all up to T1 Academy to prove that they can inch those rounds back into their favor and hopefully tie us up. Or together, they just close it out now, and they can start to do that by winning the pistol.
And you saw from that previous round, the way that they retook that is just taking advantage of little tiny mistakes that's unintentional there from T1 Academy. That molly that was thrown from that brimstone inside screens was close enough to the door that gave a chance for mummAy to just crouch towards that back and catch 2 players off guard because they thought that nobody was going to cross over because of that molly to burn down. So just like that, they got out of position. That gave a chance for FNS to move in and sweep up the last 2 kills too. So small mistake that turns out to be very costly, unfortunately, but at least for this round, they're looking for redemption. Pushing towards that A ramp, Rara gets that first kill onto FNS as we're still battling here towards this B side control, but looks like we're finally falling back.
So Together We Are Terrific. They will pull off. One pesky little smoke is going to stop the push towards B. They'll restructure and re-rotate towards the middle. and now decide that they may want to go towards Heaven, really either towards B or towards A, and the ropes call will tell us it's going to be an A push. The spike is ready. On the other side waits Kurt and Retzi. Let's see how many frags they end up getting. They'll start to push through, and they're ready for the pain. The shots are good. Kurt and Retzi will follow suit together, and at that point, Calypso actually somehow refrags and finds a lot of great kills, but he's the last member standing.
74 HP right now. Still has a Shrouded Step if he wants to. So he could go for a short teleport, but that's going to give some audibles away. So he's just going to walk onto the rappel to not make any noise. If you guys are new to Valorant, if you don't jump and try to grab the rope, just walk into it and hold the use key, you actually are able to move up silently like silent ladders in Counter-Strike. So Calypso now towards his B Heaven, looking to move in with 13 seconds left. As he drops down, he should be able to get this plant. And there you go. So that's going to work at least. They're going to be able to get that money in. 2 now rotating on the top of Heaven. But he's looking at the wrong angle. Now the timing is a little bit off. He's still able to peek up and get the headshot onto Eeiu for the hat trick. But it's quickly traded off there by ZerG. And we stay alive here in this pistol from that victory of T1 Academy.
And you know, at the end of the day, when it comes to that win, that is a lifeline for them. They've got the economy now to likely buy some SMGs. Not likely, they will. And together we are terrific. It's just going to be pistols for them, but they can still make it expensive. You know, these buys here, while great and all, it can really leave a damper if a lot of members fall, because then that third round is very difficult to win. So we'll see what ends up happening. It is, of course, split, and the defense has a little bit more flavor and a little bit more favor. So together have to prove that they can make it expensive by ZerGing it up and getting some early trades. That's
right. So now we're going to follow into this round. I saw the chat to see what happens here if T1 Academy loses. If there's actually a 3-way tie, because they're all going to be at 2 and 1 for T1 Academy, Sentinels, and Together We're Terrific, it's going to go down to round differentials. And so far, Sentinel has plus 20 round differentials. Academy has 5, and Together We're Terrific -1. So they have to win this actually by a lot of rounds here for TWAT. And let's see if that is going to be that case.
Yeah, they're going to start to push in here towards A, but the spike's not really there. It's going to be pushing... Well, I thought it was going to be pushing towards B. They're still really undecided. Rara going to make it a little bit more confusing as he finds a frag onto Akis. Calypso, not really sure... Oh, you know, I thought he was going to go pick up the SMG, but it really was in a difficult spot. The rotate is now called from Together We Are Terrific. Moving as a unit, tied together by the hip, looking like it's going to be a B push, while the rest of T1 still kind of wondering where the rest of this team is. We've got a little bit of information gathered from the early engagements, but it's not enough to really dictate where this push is going to be. Once that spike goes down onto that B site, it'll be T1 that realize they need to start making their way back.
Yeah, Kaboose still gets that ding onto Retzi, upgrades to a weapon, but cannot connect onto ZerG. At least once again, did get a spike plan here for the attacker side. As mummAy, okay, Kurt had no idea where the shots were ringing from, so he turned around, and that's an easy kill here. And somehow this turns it into a 2 versus 1, make that a 1v1. Now we know that ZerG's coming in. He's just busting through here towards the spawn site, through 2 Omen Dark covers, still looking towards Heaven, but it's back of the site. He's not looking at it. Easy kill for Calypso.
Wow. You know, not gonna lie, when you've got weapons like that, you don't lose those. That puts a wrench into the economy, I'm not gonna lie. So, you win the pistol, but you lose the force up, and now your economy is in a horrible spot. And considering your round economy itself, like the round buffers that you have left before Together We Are Terrific win the map, you need every round you can get at this point. They are 2 away from match point, and this is likely going to be another, considering T1 don't have the weaponry to play. So we'll see what ends up happening. A very aggressive push to kick us off towards Garage, but it's just information gathering on the opposite side, and they actually pull off as they didn't really see anybody there.
Yeah, so far I see a lot of dark covers here towards this mid side. I don't see a lot of Brimstone smoke that worked into their favor on the attacker when they were playing for T1 Academy at that point. That could have been the moment where they could have picked up more rounds there on the attacker side. Now they're suffering a little bit towards mid control because they don't really have anything to slow down, right? You don't have frost orbs, you don't have snake bites, you have a molly at least, but then you only have smokes, and people just walk through smokes right now. So you're giving a lot of mid control here for the attacker side. And despite all that, again, a dark cover is going to come out. Who cares? We can walk through that. We can trade it off too.
I actually think I see a force up here from T1. I think I saw somebody with the Bulldog, which means that they're really committed to trying to win this out. Rara with the Sheriff finds two, but it's mummAy that'll quickly answer back onto Kurt. Paranoia makes the Heaven engagement that much more difficult, but Kaboose will still end up with a frag onto Eeiu. Now it is up to T1 in the retake. Run it back, tries to find an early pick, but Kaboose will extinguish that flame. And Akis off to the side, making the defensive push back into the A site that much more difficult. And it's 11-4. Together we are terrific, continuing their round lead.
Yeah, still a nice try at least though from Rara though. He got 2 kills with the Sheriff. I don't know what kind of weapons dropped there for their side because I still saw Rara running up towards a Heaven through the ropes with only a Sheriff in his hands. So maybe he just wanted to continue on with the one-shots to move through, ring across to help the teammates on the rotate. But if those 2 kills had weapons, they should have went down to pick those up before attempting to go for that retake. Now at this point, though, the long-term goal here for Together We're Terrific is that they're in the lead by 7. They only need 2 more into the rest of this game before they could technically almost qualify here into the playoffs. We're going to have to figure out what the round differential is going to be, again, if it goes into a 3-way tie. That being said, though, it is going to be all of the attackers moving up here through the sewers and towards spawn to meet up with FNS and go for a full-out execute towards the A side.
The only member there, of course, is Kurt with a Stinger. And that means it might be the continued force up here for T1, trying to make every round expensive and hopefully pick up some weapons along the way. The pushes are going to start to come through. The Stinger does not connect with anybody. It's FNS that'll take him down, and it's complete control of the site here. The rest of T1 now left trying to make their way back. Calypso going to take one as well for the money, and it's just down to 3 here for T1.
Yeah, and as that's still happening with the spike plan, Orbital Spike comes through. As they rotate across, they didn't rotate as a team, so Calypso is able to pick one off quite easily to make it even harder now for the retake of T1 Academy. 2 now moving towards that rope. 1 taps continue to ring out here from Calypso. Headshot onto Rara. The Jet is close, still tapping through this, and now knee shot to body shot. Retzi falls behind, and that leaves only ZerG, the last man standing with the Sheriff. Of course you're going to commit to this. It's an eco right now for your team, so you're just going to try to do econ damage, try to pick up a gun, and I guess the point of his weapon was sticking out because FNS got the easy wall bang, and now we are 8 points ahead in this map point situation for Together We're Terrific.
I'd love to have a look at the scoreboard to really tell us what the economy looks like for T1.
You can't?
But we can't. I'd love to, but we can't. But that's okay. It tells us that Eeiu, he's got a Vandal and no armor. And what that means is it's likely another force up for T1. So really just trying to make every single round an important round. And at the end of the day, I respect it. You know, they're just trying. They know that the odds are definitely not in their favor too much. Rara, of course, curveballs himself, and Kaboose will get that frag. It is not looking good for T1.
Definitely. And even Calypso, he actually goes for the full teleport inside spawn. Kaboose with the showstopper onto ZerG. They are dropping 1 by 1. Finesse is not going to hear the person rotating towards spawn, though, so this could be a big flank coming through. Retzi activating the Blade Storm at spawn side, gets the kill onto Calypso, and actually, he did hear him, so FNS gets the kill there onto Kurt. Now moving forward as it's the... Was it a Paranoia? It was a Paranoia, I think, that came through, and Kaboose still got the kill. Because even though you're Paranoia, you're not fully blinded. If they're actually a few steps away from you, you could still spot them and get the kill. And with that, we end a Jet versus Jet, a right click that comes in favor of mummAy, and it is going to be Together We Are Terrific, winning this one 13-4.